You're 3 payments behind. The phone won't leave you alone for a minute. Calls, text, email notifications, and somewhere around 2 in the morning, tossing and turning, you come up with a plan that feels like the first honest thing you've done in months. You're going to drive that truck to the bank, hand them the keys, look the man in the eye, shake his hand, walk out of that place with your head held high. That long ride home in an Uber is going to cost you about $12,000. And nobody at that bank is going to stop you at the door and tell you, I'm the highwayman. Tonight, I'm going to show you why the most honorable feeling move in the whole repossession playbook is the one the lenders look forward to the most. Stay with me, because the result you're looking for is at the end of this video. Definitely not the front door of the bank. Let's get into it. All right, let's define the thing, because the name is doing a lot of lying here, or at the very least, it's misleading. Voluntary repossession. Sounds cooperative, doesn't it? Sounds like something a judge would smile at, that your mother would approve of. Here's what it actually is. You're doing the repo man's job for free, and that's it. That's the whole product. When the tow truck takes it, the lender pays a recovery company. When you drive it in, same repossession, zero cost to them. You didn't make some sort of deal. This action won't reflect positively on your credit report. You made a delivery. That's all. Let me say this another way, because this part matters. Handing over the keys does not touch the loan. The loan is a piece of paper. The truck was just the collateral stapled to it. You gave back the staple. The paper stays. The bank calls it voluntary. You know, if you think about it, to some degree, walking the plank was voluntary as well. So where does that truck go? Auction, wholesale. And wholesale is where trucks go to get insulted, for sure. Let me tell you, your truck does not sell for what you get on Marketplace. It doesn't sell for what the dealer would ask. It sells for what a room full of professionals, whose entire job description is paying as little as possible, feel like paying on a Tuesday morning somewhere. And every dollar it doesn't bring stays on that paper with your name on it in that banker's desk. Let's run some numbers, for example. And listen, this is an example, round numbers. Your loan will be its own animal, obviously, but the machine works the same for everybody, essentially. Say you owe $38,000. Truck brings $26,000 at auction. That's $12,000 hanging over your head. Then they add the fees, auction fee, storage fee, processing, whatever the contract lets them stack on top of you. That gap has a name. They call it a deficiency balance. I call it a truck payment without a truck. And this isn't some rare worst case story. Here's the water we all seem to be swimming in these days. And this isn't me talking. This is Edmund's own second quarter numbers from like 3 weeks ago. Almost 1 in 4 new vehicle loans is now stretched to 84 months or longer. That's a record. Average payment, $777 a month, also a record. Average amount financed, right around 44 grand. You stretch 44 grand across 7 years at today's rates, Edmund says you're paying about $10,000 just in interest. I bet that got some guys' attention. Folks, trucks depreciate faster than 7-year loans pay down. That's the whole trap in one sentence. Most of you are underwater before the first oil change. So when that truck hits the auction block, the gap, it was always going to be there. So now you're a poor bastard grieving over losing your best girl, your truck, and a bill for 12 grand. Let that one sit in your chest for a second. It's almost like you fell in love with the rich girl all your friends told you was going to eventually break your heart. You can't drive it to work. You can't sell it. Hell, you can't even wash the thing on Sundays. It's gone. And the debt, well, the debt sat down at your dinner table anyway. Damn shame. Now, depending on your state, the lender can take the deficiency to court, get a judgment, and a judgment in a lot of states opens doors you do not want opened, my friend. Garnishments, frozen accounts. State law decides how hard they can really squeeze you, but the debt itself, that part's not a maybe. 100,000 of you watched the repo video a couple of weeks back, and I thank you for that very much. This is probably what you should consider a sequel. Same machine, the only difference is who drives the truck to the lot and whether the bank pays a tow bill first. You gave back the truck, the debt, stayed for dinner, and then moved into the basement. Now, here's the sales pitch you're going to hear sometimes from the lender's own credit department. A voluntary surrender looks better on your credit score. Go ahead and ask them one question. Ask them to show you in writing where voluntary buys you a single point on your credit score. Because on the credit report, the bureaus file the same way every time, a repossession. That's the word future lenders read. Not cooperation, not, gee, he was a stand-up guy. Repossession, and it rides your credit report for quite a few years. Now it's time, because I'm not going to lie to you just to keep you angry. There are days when handing it back is the least bad move on the table. You skip the tow fees. You pick the day. So your tools don't end up locked up in an impound lot somewhere. You're also not going to be looking over your shoulder in the parking lot at work every day. If the truck's going to go anyway, and I mean anyway, controlling the how is worth something. That's real, and anybody who tells you different is selling you outrage instead of arithmetic. But that is the last resort, guys, and most men reach for it 3 exits too early because it feels like taking action. Let me show you the exits you drove past to get there. All right, exit 1, sell it yourself. Retail beats auctions. That's not an opinion. That's the whole reason auctions exist. Even underwater, the gap you owe after a private sale is usually a shorter bill than the gap after a wholesale block plus fees. Talk to your lender about a payoff. Some will work a private sale with you because they'd rather have more money than less. Shocking, I know. Exit 2, call before you're cornered and get it in writing. Hardship programs, deferments, rewrites, not because the bank loves you so much, but because a repo costs them money too. You have more leverage at 1 missing payment than you will ever have at 3. Leverage has an expiration date, so keep that in mind, fellas. Exit 3, do the math on keeping it ugly. A rough truck that's paid off will beat a clean truck that owns your ass every time, and the damn sure beats no truck and a $12,000 ghost. Here's the truth under all of it. That 2 a.m. plan, driving it in, handing over the keys, head held high, that feeling is real. I'm not mocking it, but the bank figured out a long time ago how to charge you for your own dignity. Don't sell it to them at wholesale. If you're watching this at 2 in the morning with your phone shut off, you're the exact man I made this for. Run the math before you make the drive. Make them take it the expensive way, or better, make them keep working with you. Next video, I want to introduce you to the fella who got this whole mess rolling. The guy whose 84-month signature is the reason your truck costs so damn much. His name's Bill. You know Bill. Hell, some of you are Bill. That's next. I'm the Highwayman, and I'll see you at the next exit.